The information, opinions, and statements expressed by guests on this program are solely those of the guest and do not necessarily reflect the views of the host, Check-A-Pro, this station, its management, affiliates, sponsors, or advertisers. This program is intended for general informational and educational purposes only. Results may vary.
Now the money question, and be straight with me, Ted. Is $500 really enough to start? Because that number sounds almost too small to be realistic.
$500 is really too small. It's not enough, but if we take $500 and let's say you bought one in Florida and it earned 18% and it stayed out for the whole year, at the end of the year, you're actually only going to make a very small amount of money, okay? On $500, 18%, it's going to be about $90, okay? So you made $90, but it shows you that it works. So like I said earlier, you learn to swim on the shallow end of the pool. Let's get used to the water, and then you can do it. There's no hurry. This business has been around for 200 years. Once you learn this, you can do this forever.
So why bother? It seems so small, $90.
There's two sides to the business, but the cheapest tuition is to start with tax lien certificates. So we start you at the shallow end of the pool. But there's another end to the pool, and that's the deeper end, all right? And now that end of the pool, that's where they're going to sell tax defaulted property. That means you're actually going to get property. But there are people that don't want the property. We talked about that earlier. So a good place to start is with the tax lien certificates. And it's kind of a boring business, but it's pretty darn easy. But I'll talk before we finish on how to buy tax defaulted property also as part of what we're doing on this 1-hour radio show.
Ted, let's do 1 minute on you, the short version. Who am I sitting with today?
Okay. I've been doing this for more than 30 years. I started investing in this 30 years ago, and I've just never stopped. And why I never stopped is because it's a business of abundance. This has been going on for over 200 years. It's right under your nose in every single county. So all the people that work with me are excited about it once they learn how to do it. I got in the business because I came from a family that didn't have a lot of money. My parents died poor. They didn't have a good retirement because nobody told them what we're learning about today. Yet this is a public program. It's anybody that can afford to buy the certificates can buy them. But nobody ever told them anything like what's running today.
Why not?
It's amazing the banks don't tell people about this, but the banks are the biggest investors in tax lien certificates. That and hedge funds. It's because it's safe and secure. But a banker isn't going to refer you to buying tax lien certificates because they can't earn a commission on it. A stockbroker isn't going to tell you about this investment unless they could get a commission. So the counties, when they sell these investments were made for the little guy, for you and I that want to go down and make money in our local community. So these tax lien certificates pay no commissions. So people don't tell you about it. Real estate brokers, they know about this, but they don't tell anybody because they want to make a house commission. All right. The bankers don't tell anybody about it. There's no commissions on it. So that's why people don't know about it. And when they don't know about it, they don't invest in it. Fortunately, Jim asked me to come on his program, and I'm telling you about it. This is real. The more you hear today, the more you like what we're talking about it.
And Ted, you're still at this yourself?
That's right. And I'm 87 years old in September, and I've been involved in investor in tax defaulted property for over 30 years' time.
Ted, give my listeners a sense of scale, because I think some people picture 3 houses a year in some dusty corner of the country.
Okay, the tax lien certificate and tax defaulted business, there's going to be more than 5,000 auctions this year. That's 100 a week, okay? Every county will either sell tax lien certificates or tax lien certificates and tax defaulted product. Every county in the United States has to do this because people pass away and they don't have heirs. And what are they going to do with the property? Just let it sit there and deteriorate? No. The taxes don't get paid, so the county sends a tax notice out. If they don't pay it, the county confiscates it and resells the property. Or the county starts it out with a tax lien certificate. If nobody pays that, it'll end up getting confiscated. So the county has to move these properties out. Otherwise, properties all over the United States would be deteriorating. This is a huge business, multi-billions. And let me give you one final example. Just in Florida alone, in the month of May, they will sell 1 million tax lien certificates, which you could be taking advantage of. Now, each county and the state sells those. There's 67 counties here. So it doesn't matter which state that you get involved in. There's either tax lien certificates available or tax defaulted property available, or both.
100 a week?
There's 100 auctions every week. It's actually more than that. That's a conservative number. There's no less than 5,000 auctions every year. It's a business of abundance. They're never going to run out. And because people don't know about this, there's always some left over. We teach people how to buy the leftovers, but today we're going to teach you how to do it first. And later on, when you become a client, we'll show you how to buy the leftovers too. And they're even better buys than the one we're teaching you right now.
Now, Ted, what I don't understand, if the interest is that good, why doesn't the county just keep it for itself?
Well, the county has a problem. The reason the county doesn't keep the interest is the county needs money now to pay the bills. The firefighters get paid now. The police department get paid now. The treasurer has to keep money in the treasury to pay the county bills and the employees. So the county passes it on to you by making a tax lien certificate. This is not an unusual way to do it. Every government in the United States does it. The federal government borrows money, state governments borrow money, and now what the local county does is they borrow money from you. And you're the lender because you paid the tax lien certificate. They make sure that your money is secure because it's secured by the property.
The state legislature authorizes the county treasurer to invite the public to auctions where they can earn high interest rates. It's that simple.
They pay outrageous interest rate. Where are you going to make up to 16% like they do in Arizona, or up to 18% like they do in Florida? Or how about if you went to Iowa, you can earn 24%. So the county has a budget, and they have to figure out what their budget is every year so they can pay their bills. So they have to sell these defaulted properties because the defaulted properties are contributing nothing to the county. If they don't get rid of those defaulted properties, they're going to deteriorate. And then who's going to pay to clean that mess up? The county's going to have to pay for that.
Ted, that's the cleanest explanation I've ever heard.
Thank you. Okay. I want to show you another person that's in the process of buying these properties. Okay. We're learning a little bit more about the different ways of doing this. Listen to this short summary of how well they did.
These are ordinary people. I bought 27 lots at a tax certificate sale, plus the 5 townhouses, all in one subdivision here for $6,900. All I did was pay back taxes, and I turned around and got 18% of my money, which was $1,890. Where am I going to make $1,890 doing absolutely nothing? I bought it online at a tax sale. I put home, threw it in my drawer, and a year and a half later, here's a check in the mail. Hello, I won.
My name is Robert Hagan, but everybody calls me Sonny. And this is my wife, Marcia. In September, we took the Ted Thomas classes. In November, we won the Fraser Street house. December, we accepted an offer already. January, we closed on it. It's amazing about the signs. You know, we didn't even think anything about this sign stuff. And it was brought to our attention by Ted that, you know, this is a surefire way to get people's attention. And he's absolutely right.
So the total for just the profit part, not our investment, but the total profit part is $39,438.
Ted, what's the right way to start small?
Well, I learned from a guy by the name of Warren Buffett. He said, get educated. So I would say, get yourself educated, which we're doing now, and get the book. Then the next step would be pick one county and read the book. And then everything else is going to be free. After you get the book, it's going to be free because you can get the rules, you can get the list, and now you can start going to auctions if you want to. And then when you're ready, buy a small certificate. Buy a certificate and pay the county and wait for it to get paid. Okay? All right. So it's not something you have to go, take the money that you've been saving for retirement or whatever it is, take a small part of the investment money, get a book, learn a little bit about it, and go through this step-by-step process. Who else would teach you how to do it? And everything's free.
Ted, what surprises your students most once they get one of these deals done?
The big surprise is how easy this is. You see, this was all created 200 years ago, and there was a ton of people that couldn't even read and write. So they had to make it easy, okay? You don't have a broker's statement every month that you got to read. You don't have to do any homework. You don't have to do a lot of work with a certificate. All you have to do is go make sure the property's there. So it's going to be pretty boring business. It's not going to be one that's going to get you excited. But when you get your checks, you'll get excited.
The free book is designed to educate beginner investors who are interested in eliminating one of the safest investments from their local county.
To get your free copy of Ted Thomas's book, call 877-767-8366. Again, 877-767-8366. The book is absolutely free. When you call, leave your full name, mailing address, and phone number, and Ted will mail the book directly to you. The book will be shipped via USPS Priority Mail with tracking. Leave your name, mailing address, and phone number, and Ted will mail the book directly to you. The book will be shipped USPS Priority Mail with tracking. Now, Ted, you promised my listeners inside secrets to avoid mistakes, and I'm here to collect. How do people lose money doing this?
You're holding my feet in the fire. All right. Number one, people bid on property they never look at. You wouldn't marry the man if you never saw him. So don't do that. You want to look at what you're going to buy. Every property has a number on it, just like you have a street address. These properties, you can look at them. You wouldn't marry someone you hadn't met. So look at the property, and you want to look for environmental things too. The county usually handles that. If there's any environmental problems, if there was a gas station there, don't buy the tax lien certificate because there's probably some oil tanks in the ground, and we don't want to buy anything that has a possibility of contamination. The point is, this is an easy investment because you can look and see what the problem might be.
Even for a certificate?
You're buying a certificate. However, if the certificate doesn't redeem, if the people didn't come in and pay you, then you're going to end up with the property. And so you don't want an old gas station. But if it was a nice house in the country club, you do want that. So my rule for people is if you can afford it, buy all your tax liens on those fancy houses in the country club. Because if they don't pay, you're going to get a fancy house in the country club. Don't laugh. I've seen it happen.
Look before you buy. Number 2?
Well, lazy investors don't learn the rules. Every state makes their own rules. You know, if you live in Texas, they have different rules than Louisiana. And you know, the people in North Dakota, they're different from the California people. So they have their own rules. So what you do is you want to make sure you read the rules. Now, all the rules are easy because you can go click with your computer, get the county you're going to buy, go to the county you're going to buy in, and all the rules are there. Read them. If they tell you you have to pay on a certain day, well, then you have to pay a certain day. If they tell you you have to fill out certain documents, you have to fill out certain documents. They don't tell you what to pay. They don't tell you what to bid. All this is on the county website. There's no charge for the rules. Everything is free at the county website. Okay. The people that guess are the ones that get in trouble. So you don't want to do any guessing. So read them before you spend money. It's like I'm saying, I'm going to give you a free book. Read the book before you do this. Don't just go do it and then be embarrassed that you made a mistake. Read the book. We want to make sure you stay out of trouble.
Number 3?
Everybody thinks everything's going to be a bargain because it's an auction. Okay. The auction pricing starts with the back taxes. So what you're doing is you're paying someone's back taxes. So if the taxes were high, that probably means there's a number of years they didn't pay it, but it might be a very valuable property. If the property taxes were very low, that could mean that the property isn't worth very much. You want to say to yourself, if this is really so cheap, I can get in. Well, you can, but you want to make sure that you're not buying any junkers. Don't buy a junker because you don't want to have to fix it up.
Define used and abused.
Used and abused is how I refer to property all the time. Tax defaulted properties are always going to be used and abused. If they didn't pay the taxes, they probably didn't fix the roof that's starting to wear out. Or they probably didn't rebuild that kitchen, so the kitchen might be very old. Okay, if the property's near a swamp or someplace where the neighborhood is not too good, don't buy those. You want to make sure that you buy properties that are reasonable, like the neighborhood you live in.
We control our own destiny as an investor.
100%. We control everything we do. You buy, and now you have an exit strategy. So what's exit strategy mean? Exit strategy with a tax certificate is the county handles all that. You just wait to get a check. But what if you decide to buy a tax defaulted property? If you decide you want a tax defaulted property, you're going to have to sell it. So that's easy enough. Hire a broker to do it, or hire Zillow to do it, or put it on Facebook Marketplace. Don't buy a certificate or buy a property unless you know how much money you're going to make on it.
Ted, you know what strikes me about this list? None of it is hidden. It's discipline.
The county runs the program. It's mandated by the state. The county just administers it. So it's hard to make a mistake, but People make mistakes, and that's why I got in business, because I started writing books about it, started taking people to auctions. It's kind of boring. You spend most of your time waiting.
And 5?
Number 5, that's where you have to have patience. Okay, if you're a capital investor, you don't have a worry in the world. So don't expect this to be a get rich quick. You're not going to get wealthy by this coming Friday. You're going to buy a certificate, and then you have to wait. You got to wait for the apples to mature. And the weeks go by, the months go by, and then it's time for the people to pay. If they don't pay you within the time stipulated in the certificate, you're going to get the property.
How long is the wait, honestly?
I've seen it in Phoenix where certificates could last up to 3 years. People didn't get paid for 3 years, but all that money was accruing for the first year, the second year, and the third year. Okay, I've seen them get paid off in 60 days, and they got all the money back right away.
Let me push one more time, because my listeners are like me. When something sounds too good to be true, we ask, what's the catch, Ted?
Okay, the catch is that you don't know about it. That's really the catch. The interest rates are mandated by law, but nobody hands you a certificate. You have to read the list and choose. You have to check the property, and sometimes you have to research more than one property to find the one you want.
So the catch is effort.
Effort and patience. And remember what I told you to start. You never give money to Ted Thomas. That's me, okay? Your money goes to the county. Your check comes from the county. This is a predictable, certain, and secure investment.
Still the rule.
Follow the rules. If the homework bothers you, don't start. The county doesn't need you to hurry, and neither do I.
The question I ask every honest guest, who should not do this?
If you're a gambler, you don't want to do this. If you're gambling that this is going to be your retirement, I wouldn't do anything like that. Follow the rules and bid to win a bargain property, or bid so that your tax lien certificate, so that you can make money on it. You never know if the rules are going to change later in life. I'd just be a conservative investor, and that's exactly what this is. This doesn't work for get-rich people or gamblers, because they always do something that's outside the rules. So just follow the rules.
Like you, Ted, I wouldn't marry the woman unless I had a chance to see her.
Yeah, I agree with that. Anybody who needs money, they should wait till next month or wait till the next auction. There's no hurry.
What's the most common first mistake you actually see at an auction?
I would say most people try to bid to win the auction. If you're buying a property, they're trying to win the auction, so they might keep bidding higher and higher. As you bid higher, you're getting close to the value of the property. The idea is only buy what you know is going to be a bargain.
The auction is the exam, and the homework happens the week before.
If you don't do your homework, you're making a big mistake. The biggest mistake you could make was not looking and seeing what that property was. Second biggest mistake would be if you went to see what the property was, why wouldn't you figure out what all the prices in the neighborhood are? If you know the price in the neighborhood, you'll never bid too high.
Earlier, you mentioned tax defaulted property. Some of my listeners have more money than patience. What's the next level here?
The next level is something that I showed you earlier, the older couple, and they bought a property in Michigan, and they did quite well. I'm going to show you others in the next few minutes. But the county, in all states, the county, if nobody buys the tax lien, the county has a problem. So what they do is they confiscate the property, and then they sell it for just the back taxes. Now, the back taxes generally on property are 1 or 2% of the value. They're going to sell the property. This is hard to believe, but it's going to happen. The auction starts at the back taxes, 10 or 20 cents on the dollar. This is not hype. I'm telling you the real world. You can go to those auctions and see it start at 10 or 20 cents. People find out about this. They find out that the properties are starting at 20 cents on the dollar. If you could buy one, I know you want to buy one today. We can teach you to buy one today, but it's not going to stay at 20 cents. The auction is going to go up. If you have people that aren't trained, they might bid it too high. The auction starts at 20%. So you want to be able to buy that property at a price where you could resell it and make money. You buy a deed to that property, and the owner has a certain amount of time, like in Texas, to redeem it. The owner lost their property temporarily. They could come back and pay you after 6 months. If they come back after 6 months and pay you, they give you back all your money, and now they have to give you a 25% return. 25% in 6 months. There is nowhere you can earn that kind of money.
25% in what period of time, Ted?
In 6 months. In Texas, it's the law. If they redeem the deed, they own it, but they have to pay you whatever you paid plus 25%. If they don't redeem the deed, you own the property at the end of 6 months. I'm only talking about Texas now. In 1 minute in Texas, if the delinquent property owner fails to pay the taxes, you can purchase a redeemable deed and wait 180 days. If you haven't been paid your money back in the 180 days, that means the owner redeemed. If they did redeem, you will earn 25% return and all your money back. If they don't redeem, at the end of 180 days, you own the property.
So why isn't this whole show about houses for dimes?
Well, it would be, but we have to teach people to start. So we start out by teaching tax lien certificates. Okay, that's the easiest way. It's the safest way. But if you're going to buy property, that's the most profitable way. We teach you both ways. So we teach you to start with. But deeds take capital and they take more homework because now you've got to go see, is this property really as valuable? You're going to end up owning it. You go to a tax deed auction, you're going to own the property. If you go to a tax lien certificate auction, you're going to own a piece of paper. You have a choice. The book is going to teach you both.
The free book is a guide to help you learn and earn up to 16%, 18%, even 24%.
To get your free copy of Ted Thomas's book, call 877-767-8366. The book is free. Leave your name, mailing address, and phone number, and Ted will mail the book directly to you. The book will be shipped via USPS priority mail with tracking. Again, the phone number, 877-767-8366. Ted, walk me through somebody's first 90 days, step by step, starting the night the book arrives.
Okay. Well, open the book up and read it. It's going to take a couple hours to read it. Then pick one county. Yours is fine. Or you can go to another county. It's up to you. Get the rules. Read them. All right. Now, if you've done that, you know more than most people at most auctions.
Then
I want you to watch the actions. You can go to an auction and watch an auction. Okay, that costs you nothing. Or you can do it online. If you go to my website, you can watch that. Okay. All right. Watch what the untrained people do and watch what trained people do. You'll learn from both of them.
And then the first certificate?
So now you're going to get a certificate you only spent $500 for. Okay. You buy that certificate. All right. Then you just hold that certificate. So with a tax lien certificate, you're now playing a waiting game. You just take that certificate home, put it on your desk, sit on it. You don't have anything to do until the county does everything. Remember, it's a passive investment.
And then you wait.
And then you wait. And it takes patience because you're waiting some time to get money. This is a safe business. The county tells you when the owner pays. When they do that, they're going to call you and say, bring your certificate in. Nowadays, they do it a little quicker. So nowadays, they're going to call you and say, your certificate paid off. The money's going to come to you. Do you want to put it in your bank account? They'll put the money right in your bank account.
Ted, this is exciting. That first check must feel strange.
It's so exciting that the next day people are calling me and saying, I want to know about more auctions because now they're going to be doing much bigger than that. Or what else they'll decide is they want to learn more about these tax defaulted properties where they can actually buy a property for a starting bid of 20 cents, but maybe they could buy it for 30 or 40 cents on the dollar, and then they know they're going to make big money.
Ted, how can you help our listeners along the way in this journey?
Okay, well, the fastest way is just start out with the book because it's free, it's cheap, and you can get started. But later on, we have classes, we have training programs for those people that are interested in it. But just the book is a good enough place to get started.
The free book designed to educate beginners who are interested in learning one of the safest investments in America today.
Book first, everything else later. Here's how you get it. To get your free copy of Ted Thomas's book, call 877-767-8366. The book is absolutely free. Again, 877-767-8366. Leave your name, your mailing address, and phone number, and Ted will mail the book directly to you. Absolutely free. The book will be shipped via USPS priority mail with tracking.
Jim, I'm going to close with a young couple. They were both working and they were both bored. And they came to me and they wanted to learn a business where they could travel. And so they came to me and said, Ted, you talk about tax liens and tax deeds all over the country. Show us how to do it. So I showed them how to do it. They finished their training. They bought their first property, but they made themselves quite a bit of money. But more importantly than that, they both now could take a leave of absence from the work they had, which they wanted to continue with, but they wanted to travel while they were young enough to enjoy it. They came and they made money, and I'm going to show you that, but they bought themselves a huge motor home, and they went traveling in that. So let me show you that, and then I'll come back and tell you how much money there is.
This could work for you. $39,000 would pay a lot of bills around your house and leave you a lot of money for the next investment.
We did not know anything about tax foreclosure sales in depth. We knew they existed, but we didn't know what we could do and how easy it was to go with the program.
We didn't know that it was possible because when we heard, we thought it was too good to be true to buy homes for back taxes. Once we found out that was true, we bought a 45-foot coach and decided to retire from our jobs and get out of the rat race and go make some money and live a different lifestyle, live free. So that's why we're doing tax deeds.
And with this, we can get on our bus, travel over the country, find those tax liens and deeds, and have a great time doing it.
We started buying in this house. We bought 20 cents on the dollar, and we're going to profit over $39,000 when we sell this one.
Well, folks, she said they're going to make $39,000 on their first deal. Folks, $39,000 will pay all the bills around my house. I'm sure they'll pay all the bill around your house. Probably put a little money into your savings account. That's how well you could do on this. And they're off to the Rocky Mountains in Colorado, and then they plan to go to the Rocky Mountains in Canada. More importantly, their last name was Martinez, and they all have Spanish history. They're going to spend their winter on the beaches in Mexico. So get the free book, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the future.